Oh, hello. Yes, I just want to show you some cropped shots of Iain Dale at LBC interviewing the Israeli ambassador about events at the LBC earlier this week. I'm just going to show you the Iain Dale bits because I think they're really interesting and give you a deep insight, hopefully, into one of the major problems with the British media and its treatment of the State of Israel. So let's watch that.
So tell me in your own words what happened last night. You did actually manage to speak, though. The event went ahead. You weren't prevented from speaking, were you? You had to be effectively bundled into your car to leave the building. But did you feel that you were under physical threat by some of the people outside? I gather there were one or two people who tried to rush the car.
This is an excellent question, and actually I would say this is hypocrisy. And when it comes to values, we have so much more values to share as democratic countries and as the representative of the only democratic country in the Middle East.
Do you think the protesters are driven just by wanting to protest against things that the government of Israel does, although we should explain there's been a change of government in Israel recently, or do you think it is much deeper than that, and that this is yet another example of people who believe not just that Israel doesn't have the right to exist, but a Jewish state doesn't have the right to exist? And we should also remember, and this is quite an incredible statistic really, but it's only 83 years since Kristallnacht, which happened, that was 83 years, the anniversary was actually last night, the terrible events in Germany, the pogroms against the Jews in Germany. I'm not for one moment comparing last night's events to that at all, but that wasn't that long ago. We like a bit of dialogue on this station too. Ambassador, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Well, there you go, yes. Like a bit of dialogue or a nice cosy chat. Just to pick up on one of the things that Iain Dale said, apart from the fact that he's just simply allowing this woman to speak without any questions going to her realistically whatsoever, the thing about demonstrations with Chinese, in June there were demonstrations outside the Chinese ambassador's residence, the anniversary of Tiananmen Square. Yes, I mean, the reason why the Chinese or the Russian ambassador wouldn't go on LBC is because you would actually ask them difficult questions, because that would be your job, presumably as a journalist. I know Iain Dale didn't train as a journalist, but anyway, it's a different experience. This woman came onto your show knowing full well that she could say anything she likes and you would not question one bit of what she had to say. That's the difference, perhaps. This is a media dialogue. I keep saying this, not being anti-Semitic, not even being particularly anti-Israel, but look at the bullet points she was coming out with. It's all the standard stuff that you will hear in defence of Israeli foreign policy. We're like you, we're not like them, we're democratic, they're not, we don't commit acts of terror, they do. These people won't listen, we will. Yeah, just more and more of the same. And, you know, it's no wonder why people in this country are very ill-informed. I mean, at one point, Iain actually tries to clarify a point and then doesn't. He says not many people will know, for example, that the government recently changed. Yeah, right, yeah, in what way? Why is that important, Iain? Nothing. Yeah, anyway, sorry to be banging on about this. I'm sure there'll be something next week that won't involve demonstrations with Israelis. Hopefully, anyway. Hopefully.